Hello, welcome to Yoda Soda Creations podcast. Girlfriends, which are the Secretary's Team of Recent. Happy Mother's Day weekend, National Train Day weekend. It's been about just over 24 hours since I got back from pretty, pretty busy day yesterday.
Okay. Yeah, I ended up getting back home late yesterday, so it's like it would have been a weird thing to do the show last night anyway. Because well, I'll get to that.
Speaking speaking of which, this was Sunday show was pre-planned in advance. There was some skepticism as time went by, but things got confirmed upper things got confirmed at least Friday-ish.
Yeah, basically, I needed to find out when exactly I'd be working on Monday. That way, I know, like, okay, which day would be better to do the show on. Turns out, today was the better day because today I had to wake up at 6 in the morning. Okay, I say had to. Honestly, I ended up napping a little bit more than that, but I had to leave for work at like 9. Whereas I don't have to be at the door at work until about 1 on tomorrow. So uh, yeah, I don't have to leave as early. So yay. Uh, but yeah. So the past week, it's been okay. Did some game streams, mostly of the casual Minecraft building variety. Go for a couple hours. It's not something that'll be split up into episodes. It's like, okay, here's some building and other various non-focused on a particular thing type episodes of VODs or whatever. Yeah, but yeah, had work had work all 3 of the days. So Friday was a bit slow, and then yesterday yesterday I went over to my aunt's house and for a Mother's Day dinner since had to work today. And yeah, my cousin's parents were there, so that was great. And yeah, it was really nice. But I didn't get home until like I want to say 9ish. So yeah. And then today I went to work, getting through the power of electrolytes, coffee, and an energy drink. But yeah, right now I'm just having a sparkling water, so no more caffeine for the night. But yeah, I actually got some leftovers from that. I'll be having that for dinner tomorrow. Yeah, some potato pancakes, sausage links, and some Cristo sliders, aka mini Monte Cristos. Actually, I got to have a few of those during the lunch break, and like they're pretty good. But yeah, I got home. Well, I did a shopping run, then went home and did another games, did another building stream today. Yeah, just clearing up an ocean monument, putting up some putting up some copycat panels to block the water out. Need to do something about all the pillars because it makes maneuvering the front portion really difficult. I'm debating either tearing them down or putting in a mechanism to retract the pillars into the ground. That way they can be on full normal display mode when necessary. I'll think about it. I need to get the create mod stuff set up anyway, so it has to wait until then anyway. But yeah, right now doing a little bit more of that. I'm actually just getting the glass panels in place. But yeah, other than that, it's been a okay day. Ugh. Yeah. Anything to anything else to report? I started reading that Magic the Gathering manga. Actually, pretty interesting. The end of chapter bits have little notes about the various cards used in the chapters. Like, oh yeah, this card was printed near the very beginning of the game, and they realized later that yeah, this is poor design, and have tried not to repeat that mistake since. uh, but yeah, it's a good manga. But yeah, I think that's basically everything. So yeah, how was your week?
Let me just. So I managed to track down my backlog of sports action. Still got a few more things to take care of, including some of the action for this weekend, and let's manage to fit in last weekend's action. But shouldn't be too much of a difficulty once. Should be difficulty on the situation, of course, would be timing, but otherwise. Otherwise, it's not really that much comparison to last week. How it was for last show.
Right.
Uh, try to see if you have the minorities with the household. Which is we a few minor hiccups, but otherwise it's okay. And this one is how I managed to pre-arrange how to work out yesterday. Two separate events within a couple hours or so. Wait for each other and court magistrates, I presumed and presumed correctly that I was able to take care of at least one of those stops within an hour at best. So thankfully that went to plan. Just a minor application hiccup when it was time to start moving elsewhere, but otherwise, I was able to get my list finished, and then see what they're doing on traffic and a few other things, but I managed to get down to the second event for the rest of the afternoon. First time in something specific for specific ownership, and then not only did we witness something, but probably doesn't happen in one location, but found a few bonuses as well. commemorative location. This appearance has changed a bit to more presentable standards. Some activities and but yeah, I think my dad's finally realizing it was worth difficulties. And the plan being executed well in theory was certainly made things well worth it. Drove home, got home. Some things I'll had to put off for a bit, but should really have to take care of. So now after that show, specific to check in today with the whatever action upgrade I could access, and then game sheet ready as well. Game sheet ready. Head for that with a bit of stuff I can need to get to, but hopefully they'll be remedied somewhere. The next 12 hours. But yeah. Definitely worth the trip. Not sure exactly if something similar will occur in the future. for the coming years, but
Yeah.
what, or we'll find anything similar to what happened in the past, but yeah, gonna see about some goes by. Thankfully, I got a good cook from Mum, and she appreciated it. So, have to make that trim package for some points of interest, but hope you can find something around that. I was tend to wonder if the 2-in-1 only happens at least once a year, but we'll see how far that goes in terms of record keeping and how plans go and things like that. Yeah, so let's go for yeah, now there's ways to go for activity in terms of event start picking up again.
Yep. So, double video week. Woo! Uh. Yep. So, horses. This is a simple one. It's another one of those song episodes. So, Finley's all like, oh, woe is me. I am such a screw up. I ruin everything. And Turtle's like, come on, don't feel that way. And Finley's like, oh, what do you care? You're perfect. Then Turtle's like, I'm not flawless. I'm a work in progress. I got dents and I got quirks. Yada yada. Pony reference. I mean, come on, with the thing they were going with there, or I had to. But yeah, basically it's like, hey, you're fine the way you are. You know, don't worry about it. Anyway, who wants to play volleyball? Yay! Oh no, I forgot to let the ball to someone else. Oh, don't worry. I have the speech ball. Like, oh, perfect. Uh, so that was horse episode. Basic, but it was basically just a medium to get people to to hear the song. It was all right, but yeah, like once that song started up, I just immediately was like, I know the perfect reference for this. Uh,
I guess since you brought up the question, echoing once fandom, now, of course, we debate as to which one is more preferred. I'd say we have a strong case with what it means, because, well, from a vocal standpoint.
that's fair. Yeah, yeah, the song was okay. Um, yeah, episode was all right. It's like I said, song episode, not as much stuff to go over since it's mostly well, song. But that's fine. Those are good sometimes.
Can't think of a person in particular when I'm talking about the singer, but it's actually one of those motherly sounding type of voices.
Okay. I can kind of see that. Uh,
And probably to extent something you'd kind of hear from a pop singer.
yep. Uh, and then for the Mother's Day special, we head over to the Elemental Nations. No, not those Elemental Nations. If we were going to be talking about Naruto, we'd be here till the year 2150. No, we're talking about Avatar. Now, to be fair, this is a season 3 episode, so a little bit of background info just to get everyone caught up. So, there's like 4 main elements that people are able to ban: air, water, earth, and fire. There's supposed to be like a balance, but the Fire Nation was like, haha, fire, burn, we take over everything. And everyone's like, oh no, the Avatar will save us. Said Avatar, being a child, was like, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, oh god, gets frozen. 100 years later, some Water Tribe kids find him. They go on adventures, and this Fire Nation Prince Zuko is like, I must, I must get the Avatar to restore my honor. And there was this big clash at the end of season 2. Like he and the Water Tribe girl Katara bond a bit, but it was like, that chat was nice, but yeah, I gotta go kill the Avatar. And yeah, that went great. And yeah, that hey, restored honor. I mean, okay, so the whole killing the Avatar thing didn't really take. See, he was only mostly dead. He got better, but yeah, this whole thing left Zuko feeling just kind of like, okay, so I restored my honor. So why do I feel like crap? So he ends up deciding, like, okay, Avatar's alive. Avatar needs a fire teacher. You know what? I screwed up by trying to kill him. I should probably be his teacher, because, like, God knows, with everyone trying to hunt, everyone in the Fire Nation trying to hunt the Avatar down, him finding the fire teacher is going to be difficult. So he joins the team, and everything's great, except Katara's still like, I don't trust you. I trusted you once, but you betrayed us. Make one move, and you won't have to worry about honor anymore, because you'll be dead. And that's basically where we begin the episode.
Not to mention
So everyone's
a sibling rivalry of sorts that also kind of puts him on a bit of a
oh yeah, sibling rivalry is putting it lightly.
well, probably one of the worst cases, no doubt. Well, probably one of the worst cases when I'm trying to get it, but
Yeah,
it's part
basically
it's part of its personal journey.
yeah. So as bad as Zuko is, his sister's so much worse. She cray cray. Not as cray cray as she would be later, but that's beside the point. Anyway, but yeah, so the group is like chilling out at this old temple place, and it's like, okay, resting him. Oh crap, we're under attack. The Fire Nation found us. It's like, okay, we need to get away.
Western Air Temple to be precise, which actually is the title of a previous episode.
Yes. Basically, the Fire Nation is using their airships and firebending to bring in the heat. So they have to run, but Aang's airbase and Appa is like, no, me no like tunnels. So they have to split the group. The main crew stays with Aang the Avatar, and the rest of them, including Katara. Was Katara's dad there? I think I think so.
Katara and Sokka's dad.
Katara and Sokka. Yeah, Sokka, the other of the Water Tribe siblings. He doesn't actually bend elements, but he does have a nifty sword and a boomerang. But yeah, the non-main crew goes off to run to the airship they have, and Aang and crew like, okay, we're gonna have to fly out of here. That's usually a bad thing. However, we have this huge chunk of rock we can use as a shield. So they do so. Meanwhile, Zuko and his sister, uh, Azula, sorry, took a moment for my mind to finish buffering. They have a bit of a firefight. They both get knocked off the airship they were on. Zuko gets caught by the crew, and not Katara, Azula is like, oh hey, she's falling to her. Oh wait, no, she used her fire powers to boost herself to the cliff and clung to that. Okay, no, she's fine. Knew it couldn't be that easy. But yeah, so that's a whole thing. And so by this point, the crew's mainly like accepted Zuko as part of the group, except Katara, because again, she remembers last time she got buddy buddy with him. Didn't end well. So yeah, Zuko wants to probably be part of the group, but yeah, Katara's like, "Erg." and she lets out again that yeah, the whole thing back in the past, the Fire Nation killed her mother. Well, they don't explicitly say she was killed, but she was killed. Don't forget, this is Nickelodeon we're talking about. And it's like, yeah. So Zuko goes to Sokka, and it's like, okay. Twice she's talked about how the Fire Nation and killed you guys' mom. Give me the details. So Sokka goes over that whole backstory. Like, okay. And which group was this? Which Fire Nation raid group was this? What was their symbol? Like, okay, that group. Okay, okay. So Zuko goes to chat with Katara, like, okay, I know you don't like me. However, I could find you the guy who killed your mom. And Katara's like, say more. So he tells her, like, okay, okay, think think we got something going here. Hey, Aang, can we borrow Appa for a bit? We're gonna go on an enthusiastic walk.
Again, putting it lightly.
Yeah. Uh, but yeah, so it's like, okay, we need to go to this station. They'll have the location of that raid group. But remember, this is a stealth mission. We can't be seen. But I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure they won't run into any sort of gears of metal or anything. Anyway, so yeah, they go to the place. They get the patrol sheet. Like, okay, they're over here. Let's go get them. So they go to the ship. They raid the ship and go to the leader's cabin. It's like, and he's like, "Who are you?" Like, "You killed my mother. I have no idea who you are." And Guitar gets a good look at his face. Like, you are not the right person. And Zuko's like, "Okay, if you're not, who is? You mean the old commander? He retired like 4 years ago." And we finally get to see the man who killed old Katara and Sokka's mother. Currently being berated by his mother for not getting her the food she wants. Yeah, this sad sack. So, yeah, he goes out to the market. That's like, wait, did you see someone? Did you hear anything? No? Uh-huh. Who's there? Right. Okay, goes on his way. I know you're there. Oh, fire! And then he falls for the actual trap. It's like, yeah, we went behind that tree. So now Katara does her whole thing as do you remember me? No, wait. Oh yeah, you were that girl from back then. Yeah, so basically the whole reason why he killed their mother was because that they got intel that they were hiding a waterbender, which other elemental benders bad for the Fire Nation. Now, of course, Katara was the waterbender. Their mother wasn't going to tell them that. They told them she told him that she, Guitar's mother, was the waterbender. And yeah, the Fire Nation doesn't take prisoners. So yeah, Guitar reveals that no, she wasn't the waterbender. She was protecting the actual waterbender, me. Oh, and by the way, it's raining. Lucky me. Got a whole huge sphere of water thing going on, and then like, okay, turn turn water to ice. Huge ice needles. Oh yeah, earlier, back at the ship, Katara did a thing called blood bending. So you know how the body's composed of like a good chunk of water, including all that stuff in the blood. Yeah, basically all that good juiciness inside the human body, she can control that too. It's a bit of a dark art, typically frowned upon, but she did learn that she does have that capability. So she used that on the guy on the boat. I don't believe she actually used it on the actual person she was hunting. Maybe she did, I don't remember. But yeah. So yeah, throwing ice spears and just about to hit, and it stops and turns back to water. And she's like, I've been preparing myself for this all my life, and yet, you know what? I can't do it. And I'll see if she knew what he was dealing with earlier, or just being a sad sack rated by his mom for not giving her the right food. She would probably think that, you know what? No, let him live. He'll suffer more this way. But yeah, he was like, yeah, I killed your mother. You you can take my mother away. You can do that. He would of course probably see that as a win. uh, oh yeah, before they left, Aang and Sokka confronted them, and it's like, no, revenge, bad. They're like, no, revenge, closure. In this case, revenge, good. Revenge deserved. And Aang's like, forgiveness, good. Katara's like, screw that noise. But yeah, so Katara spares the guy's life, and they head on out. And yeah, they get back, and Aang's like, yeah, Zuko told me what happened. It's like, I'm glad you decided on forgiveness. And she's like, no, I didn't. Screw forgiving that guy. I just didn't kill him. There is a big difference. I am never gonna forgive him. But Zuko, him I can forgive. Yeah, he did me a favor. We're good now. he he got mucho brownie points for today. But yeah, Aang's like, yeah, well at least you learned that violence isn't the answer. And Zuko's like, uh-huh, so yeah, you know how you're supposed to face off against my father, the Fire Lord, guy trying to take over the world. So exactly what is your answer to him going to be? To which Aang can only be like, uh, uh, yeah, he hasn't quite worked that bit out yet.
One thing we can say is that the solution does sort of pay off at a future point when bloodbending gets brought into question again.
Yeah.
I always feel some people don't give Korra enough credit.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard mixed things about Korra, but you know, I what I've heard, it probably gets too much flack. Honestly, I'd probably say it suffers from female protagonist syndrome. In which case, oh, people are finding flaws with it just because the protagonist's female. Whereas if it was a guy, like they'd brush those issues off. Like they have no problem. Uh,
And by extent, some elements that would apparently would be considered woke. At least certain twisted minds would say.
yeah,
And the less we talk about that party, the better.
yeah. I think I'm one of the least woke people you could find. Hell, I'm practically asleep half the day. Uh, but yeah, good episode. Like near the tail end of the final season, but pretty good. Got to get the whole team unity thing going before the final boss. Because I think after this, there was only like 3 or so more episodes. So, yeah. Writer's like, okay, there's still that beef between Katara and Zuko we need to deal with before the finale, so let's do that now.
It's still it's still a short number, even if you combine the finale itself.
Yeah.
But yeah, it kind of leads to one of major reasons. Going through the entirety of this one would almost be kind of pointless, given how pretty much everyone under the sun has already done their own video theses on the entire series.
Yeah.
It just so happens that I've been thinking about Mother's Day. I suddenly remembered. Oh wait, there's a certain issue within a certain show that might be worth discussing.
Yep. But yeah, good episode. And yeah. Who knows, maybe we'll get around to Avatar sometime. Okay, so Avatar, so that's about 20 episodes per season, 3 seasons, so about 60 episodes. So, Okay, so counting for October and December for theme months, barring any other theme months that come up, 1.5, 2 years, give or take. Sounds about right. I was just working out like, okay, if we were to do that, how long would it? How many weeks would that take? I mean, obviously, 60, but oh,
Some
got the various other things in between to deal with.
some combinations will of course have to be in play as well, but like I said, at this point, it's more of a. I feel like it's more of a. I feel like it's more of a once in a while type of deal, given how much. Again, how much theses have been already made.
And that's fair. And of course, we already know that it isn't one of those flawless series with no bad episodes. Because there are a few episodes where it's like, why is this even a thing?
Though of course
So,
personal preference will filter out what they feel doesn't live up to the standards of the show, and of course, even if certain film has pretty much elevated up a little bit, there's a certain episode from season 1 that really registers up the lip to a point where they even say, let's keep flying.
yeah. I mean, having a few bad episodes isn't horrible. It happens to most shows. Mind you, I mean, come on, they can't all be like a Gravity Falls or an Owl House, which are, pretty solid across the board.
I think it actually was. They wouldn't be bad in terms of, well, in comparison to some other shows that have a bit more of a balance to them. It's just that with the standards that have been set, they don't quite hold up in terms of, well, they don't quite hold up in comparison to some others.
Yeah. I mean, like, that one episode, doesn't it, like, poke fun at that, like, yeah, like, that was a whole, yeah, that's, yeah, that episode where they went to go see the play, and it's like, which, to be fair, having episodes where you poke fun at your own show, like, those are always fun. Yeah.
It was also nice for anyone that was coming in late when the original airings were coming out, that they managed to be caught up in terms of more details, as opposed to just going by what's been said in the intro countless times.
Yeah. Basically, they found a way to make a recap episode fun. But that's getting into other episodes, so...
Fun note: I can't help but imagine if the crew, except Zuko was like, the crew that remembers that day was like, wins until they said, let's keep flying.
Yeah. wait, that guy died. You know, it's really unclear. Uh, yeah, well, I haven't actually seen all the show myself. I have actually watched reviews of it that basically go over over the entire series. Great internet reviewer by the name of SF3. I haven't checked in on this stuff in a while. I probably should. I know, like, he had some issues with video hosting because Paramount and he does a lot of Star Trek stuff, so video hosting can get kind of tricky. But yeah, yeah, I should probably see what he's up to one of these days. Maybe binge some videos.
And of course, it would take a while, but a certain Chicagolander will eventually came around.
Yeah. Yeah, Avatar of the Last Airbender. Great, if not perfect. Great, even if it isn't a perfect series. And to be fair, I think the majorly criticized episodes were like in the first seasons. That like it's a lot easier to give first seasons a pass because they're still getting their feet wet. You know.
Yeah.
Oh right.
Trying to get back to my notes. One of the things people will definitely have fun from church cinema shows, especially with now that especially with the sense of the meme culture has started exploding. Coming across faces that will be worth say reactions and comments and things like that. And when Zucker enters the tent in this one, I always I feel that one was I feel that one is often a little underused.
Okay.
Also, a bit of sucker for the surrendering down to the point of classic rose in your teeth.
Yep. All right.
Trying to think of something to go. This in. I can only imagine something along the lines of. So in terms of that warning sign and those flashbacks. If I do manage to work out details in terms of certain aspects, even when there's big bad in terms of nations in this case. Small location I don't know more as well as specific military division. And for those who are taking it further, one thing you'll notice about his age is that Aang is presently more knowledgeable and wise, despite his, well, the most, arguably knowledgeable, well, blah, 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 blah. Despite his age, Aang is surprisingly knowledgeable and wise.
Yeah.
Basically, his nation is more based around philosophies for a better world, which kind of ties into the dilemma they have during the finale.
Yep.
And thankfully, he'll find a solution that will work on all sides.
Uh, yeah, doesn't he like consult his his past incarnations, and they're basically all like, "Oh yeah, no, that guy has to die."
Very loosely, though. Sometimes, well, in a loose sense again. Some are a bit more direct than others, but some of us
But
have a
more or
little bit
less.
understanding.
Uh,
Quick turn into a bit of a detail in terms of how they got to defend their intel. Yeah, some survivor base, so that trick was definitely workable. You also do well in tying in the flashbacks to the character's feelings, 2 points where you'll start to understand some get a bit more personal than others, and it's mostly they're over time willing to filter out some of the more less than loyal to the higher up type of people. In fact, that's a previous teacher template they eventually come across again, and then it actually I've seen as a VA twice now. The toy show that I mentioned. Of course, if you pay attention to specific details, one can help wonder if there was fall on the night they raided the ship. Likely some later occurrence of bad technique will eventually have been results of evolution starts. And then getting back to ethics, quotes from certain Chicago men that I mentioned previously. Usually this would be a big no-no for arguably the most ethical person on the show not to forgive someone. But in this case, they make it very relatable. It doesn't say whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, it's just how she feels.
Yeah.
Basically totally agree with it. We're going to take these touch on in terms of that episode, and a few moments back on in terms of thinking things expensively and
Yeah.
so yeah, like Linderman's definitely a high rank in my book.
Yeah. Solid episode. All right. Getting into the spreadsheet. Trains, more trains. Okay. The studio behind Dune Awakening has reassured players it's taken precautions to ensure minimal issues with overcrowded servers at launch, stressing, quote, "This is not our first rodeo." So, some changes to Pal World. No longer can you glide on the backs of your pals, you need an actual glider item instead. Because apparently Nintendo copyright patented gliding on your animal friends. Like, right. That, sure, that's a thing that totally only Nintendo can do, I guess. Whatever. U.S. Federal Trade Commission has officially lost its appeal against Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard. The U.S. court denied the FTC's motions for an injunction in 2023, and the Court of Appeals have now ruled that was the correct decision. GTA 6's cast of characters has been revealed, including a conspiracy theorist sidekick and a strip club gangster. Oh, okay. Here's a nice one. A new Echo the Dolphin game is coming from its original development team, as well as remasters of the first two games on the Mega Drive/Genesis. Accessory manufacturer Genki has responded after being sued by Nintendo for showing off Switch too early. Yeah, they got in some hot water over that whole thing, and it's like, okay, now people know them for their accessories. I have some of their stuff. I actually have their video capture device. A lot less latency, a lot less lag with that and the old than the old Elgato I had. But yeah, apparently Half-Life 3 is playable end to end and could be announced this year, according to a Valve insider. Codemasters has confirmed an unspecified number of layoffs following the news of that it's pausing development of its historical rally game franchises. My Dress Up Darling Season 2 anime reveals Spyro Spica's opening theme and video. In the Clear Moonlit Dusk manga gets a TV anime. Togen Anki anime reveals July 11th premiere, theatrical screening, and ending song artist. 2.5 a Dimensional Seduction anime gets an English dub on May 7th. Oh, no, no, crap, I accidentally closed the tab. Hold on, let me get back. Okay. Um, Yaoi Anime Studio Grizzly dissolves. Chitose is in the Ramune Bottle anime reveals video with voices at an October debut. Uh, that is certainly a title. Campfire Cooking in Another World with My Absurd Skill Season 2's teaser unveils news cast and staff and October debut. Again, I must say, you can tell just by the title which of these anime started off as a light novel. Apparently, Netflix has returned 4 seasons of Friendship is Magic. Which 4 seasons, though? Let me check. Probably the first 4. Okay, yeah, first 4 seasons. Could we get more? Who knows? First look at Breaking Bear, which follows a family of bears who go full criminal to stop trackers, mobsters, and a wolf pack from destroying their home. Brendan Fraser, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Annie Murphy, Elizabeth Hurley, and Josh Gad will star, coming soon to Tubi. Learning with Pibby creator Dodge Greenlee says he's moving on from the pilot and Pibby's story in a new Instagram post. Quote, I'm properly medicated and therapized, so I'm trying to turn this corner and move on. This is the end of her story for me. That's kind of sad. Like, I saw the whole Pibby thing, and, like, definitely had potential, but, yeah. Okay, the Amazing Amazing World of Gumball Season 7 will finally answer the question of what's in the void. The new season will officially premiere this year. Stitch is now fully taking over the billboard that had the new Avengers reveal. Oh yeah, that new Avengers. Yeah, they retitled Thunderbolts. Yep.
Though I personally have no idea if it's either a post joke or a last minute edit of sorts.
Nathan Fillion and Isabella Merced will appear as Hawkgirl and Guy Gardner in Peacemaker Season 2. And Sean Gunn as Maxwell Lord. Releasing August 21st on Max. Okay.
Now look at the second time he's portrayed a Green Lantern, but also the second character that has been listed as a Green Lantern he has played.
Yeah. Got the first teaser for the next Godzilla Kong film, Godzilla Kong Supernova, in theaters March 26, 2027. Yep. Wyatt Russell says he hasn't read a script for Avengers Doomsday. Quote, honest to God, I don't know what I'm doing. I have no clue. I've not read a script. Chad Stahelski's Highlander reboot is aiming to release in theaters in 2027 or 2028. The film is eyeing to begin filming in September with Henry Cavill as the lead. The new Pope, Pope Leo XIV, watched the Conclave movie right before the actual Conclave. Quote, I said, do you watch the movie Conclave so you know how to behave? And he just finished watching the movie, says the Pope's brother. Like, okay, he did his homework.
The more we separate him from a certain worshipper, the better.
Yeah. So, Jeremy Renner, when asked if the rumors were true about Hawkeye Season 2 being like The Raid, set in a single location and also feature Clint Barton's brother Trickshot. Well, some of that's true. I don't know. We got into it a little bit story-wise and in just doing another season. Thunderbolts director Jake Schreier is in talks to direct the X-Men movie. Return to Silent Hill will begin in a wide theatrical release from Cineverse. The company promises that the film will be a very faithful adaptation of Silent Hill 2.
That's one way to separate the two.
Yeah. Fallout Season 2 is wrapped filming. Marvel has released a 10-hour-long video of Daredevil looking straight into the camera. Meditate with Daredevil. This is just a whole thing Marvel's doing now, isn't it?
In all fairness, given how the political scene has drastically changed, it's probably needed.
There. Lord of the Rings The Hunt for Gollum will release on December 17th, 2027 in theaters. Directed by and starring Andy Serkis as Gollum. Lafayette the Old Country will cost $49.99, releasing August 8th. apparently May 2026 will be a major month of entertainment with Avengers Doomsday May 1st, Mandalorian and Grogu May 22nd, and GTA 6 May 26th. These games are expected to be renewed for seasons 2 and 3 at Prime Video. Rockstar confirms that the new GTA 6 trailer was captured entirely in-game from a PS5 comprised of equal parts gameplay and cutscenes. Sure. We've heard that before. DC Comics announces Cheetah and Cheshire rob the Justice League, a 6-issue limited series launching this August from writer Greg Rucka, artist Nicola Scott, colorist Annette Walk, and letterer Troy Pateri. Charlie, Co- Charlie Cox says his parents accidentally watched Ben Affleck's Daredevil when they tried to watch Daredevil Born Again. Quote, they go, this can't be right. I was like, what? And he goes, doesn't even look like you. I'm like, right, that is Ben Affleck. Uh, the Golden Globes plan to introduce a Best Podcast Award into their ceremony. Apparently, Disney is planning to open a new theme park in Abu Dhabi. Got the first concept art from the castle. Apparently, according to Bob Iger, the castle will be the first real modern castle that we built. A new Shaun the Sheep movie, Shaun the Sheep, the Beast of Mossy, is in the works at Aardman. The film follows Shaun, who turns into a mad scientist after Farmer trashes the flock's pumpkin patch. Things then spiral out of control as the beast begins to roam the woods of Mossy Dam.
Will be interesting. Frankenstein parody.
Yep. 3 sequels to 10 Things I Hate About You are in the works, titled 10 Things I Hate About Dating, 10 Things I Hate About Marriage, 10 Things I Hate About Kids. The studio has been renewed for season 2 at Apple TV Plus. So apparently Vice City is making a return in GTA 6. The live-action Lilo and Stitch remake director Dean Fleischer's camps hints that Legally in a Dress isn't a difficult film. Quote, I just want to say I tried. Okay, the plot for GTA 6 has been revealed. Set in Vice City, Jason and Lucia have always known the deck is stacked against them. But when an easy score goes wrong, they find themselves on the darkest side of the sunniest place in America, in the middle of a conspiracy stretching across the street of Leonida, forced to rely on each other more than ever. If they want to make it out alive. Chastahowski says John Wick 5 will be a very different story for the character. Quote, John dealt with this kid. It will be really different, and everybody will see the trailer and go, holy F, I gotta see that. Final Destination Bloodlines broke the world record for the oldest performer ever on fire on camera. Yvette Ferguson, a 71-year-old stunt performer, came out of retirement to do the scene. Gears of War Reloaded has been announced. It'll be a remaster with 4K resolution, 120 FPS support, cross progression / crossplay multiplayer, and zero loading screens during the campaign. Releasing on Xbox, PC, PS5, and Steam on August 26th. The new animated series, Long Story Short, from the creator of BoJack Horseman, will release August 22nd on Netflix. The story follows one family from childhood to adult and back again, chronicling their triumph and disappointment. Kevin Feige was spread so thin at Marvel in the early 2020s, but the creatives wouldn't hear from him and spend weeks on work only to get feedback that was too late to implement. Some staffers had to resort to chasing Feige down in the hallway for answers. Uh, yeah, that's one of the downsides to being basically the whole backbone of an entire cinematic universe. Although apparently Kevin Feige has told his colleagues that he has a 10-year plan for the X-Men. Speaking of MCU, got some release dates. Fantastic Four, July 25th, 2025. Doomsday, May 1st, 2026. Brand New Day, July 31st, 2026. And Secret Wars, May 7th, 2027. Kevin Feige also recently told his Marvel Studios colleagues that watching every new Marvel TV show and film had started to feel more like homework than entertainment. They are now moving to only 1 or 2 live-action shows per year. Tamagotchi has been inducted into the 2025 Video Game Hall of Fame. The the inductees include Tamagotchi, as well as Defender, GoldenEye 007, and Quake. Battle Angel Alita's manga, the Battle Angel Alita manga's new Panzer Chronicles series has been delayed to next spring.
In a somewhat related situation to anime, do you know there's a character called Akira in the John Wick series?
Huh. I don't know. And now I'm wondering if John Wick has done the Akira slide. Okay, I had to look this up.
Just saying, because a
Okay, so it wasn't John Wick himself, it was another character who did the slide. Okay.
Director Serena Swayama to reprise that role for the Kane spinoff.
Quintessential Quintuplets is getting a fantasy RPG in September. Apparently, it's the fourth console game for the series. Apparently, Spike Chunsoft releases the first two games in English on May 23rd. So, potential for this one in English, maybe? I don't know. I've never actually seen the anime, so I don't know.
If you're interesting things on the major concert scene, keyword major. Katy Perry announces cancellation of two upcoming shows just days after fishing backlash for Blue Origin mission. And Lady Gaga reportedly crying after one of her shows.
Apparently, there was a leaked sizzle reel for Kung Fury 2. Yeah, apparently that was worked on like a proper actual sequel, but got caught in development hell. So maybe it's going somewhere. Yeah. There's a particular thread I remember seeing that like, huh, where is it? So apparently the Ben 10 Complete Collection DVD set is missing 45 episodes.
Oof.
The live-action One Piece Season 3 will begin filming later this year.
Interesting enough from the Liverpool Convention. Gustin. Grant Gustin. Gustin. Didn't like Forces storyline in The Flash Season 7. Calling Forces my children. I tried to talk them out of that. Also, I apparently didn't like the Godspeed lightsaber fighting, too. We can do this now? Really?
So apparently the original Thomas the Tank Engine pilot from 1983 has been released for the first time. Ooh, with original Ringo Starr narration.
Respectively, it's an anniversary year. Probably better than whatever thing they comes up with their current incarnation. Though I hear that's also getting another boot or possible return. I have no idea.
Yeesh.
The ongoing series featuring Black Kit. G. Wilson writes. Gleb Melnikov will be drawing. Bookmom Sardis. Black Cat becoming a superhero after the need behind her life as a thief. Oh gee, I wonder how that. Oh gee, I wonder if that sounds familiar.
What? No. Night Court has been canceled by NBC after 3 seasons. According to CNBC, Warner Brothers Discovery is moving towards splitting the company.
I had to. I'm not actually sure. I'm not actually. I don't think I've ever heard of a actual points of a Catwoman making the transition as outside of a certain Elseworld, but you see where I'm coming from.
Yeah, and let's face it, even if she did do that, it would never have lasted anyway. Because the status quo rules all. Although surprisingly, Alfred is still dead, so make of that what you will. Though personally, I give it like a year or two max before he's back.
Grayson's has been arguably one of the more interesting. Lots of Nightwing shifts. Secret agent at one point took the Magnetic Mantle a couple times.
The canceled N64 rare game Dinosaur Planet apparently got an unofficial PC port. You may know it better under the title of Star Fox Adventure.
Often more commonly referenced whenever there's an aircraft game involved.
Yeah.
And to an extent, aircraft in movies.
Got a trailer for Young Ladies Don't Play Fighting Games anime featuring Street Fighter 6.
Why do I get the feeling there's a plumbers don't wear ties reference in there somewhere?
Eh. Ooh. Apparently, Gex Trilogy comes out June 16th, 2025. Digital and physical pre-orders open in at $40 and up, with new artwork by Yoshitaka Amano. Some more reveals of the Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering set happened this past weekend, or this weekend. Lots of good cards. Got a special golden Chocobo card limited to 77 copies, as well as color variations. Like, oh god, I'm gonna put so much money into this, aren't I? Although I did find a potential combo featuring the Commander Yuna card going along with one of the cards from the Wolverine set. Like, yeah, Yuna taps for mana, and next thing summon gets 2+1/+1 counters. When something with counters dies, you can put that many counters on someone else. Then the other card's like, oh, if you were to put counters on something, put twice that many. So you start off with 2, which becomes 4. That creature dies, goes to something else, becomes 8. Exponential growth! So yeah. Like, I don't even really play the game anymore. I just want it because they're cool. I also want the Doctor Who cards and the Hatsune Miku cards. And the Fallout cards. Maybe Lord of the Rings? And then getting a hold of the Warhammer cards is a bit difficult, because like those go for a lot of money these days. Card games. Even drugs are cheaper. We at the Yoda Soda Creations podcast do not condone the use of drugs. In fact, drugs bad. Do not drugs ever. Unless they're prescribed to you, in which case, do take your drugs. Anyway,
Moderate some of the more adult substances, basically.
yeah. Take the drugs you're supposed to have. Don't take the drugs you're not supposed to have. Ugh.
Declare produce F1. British wins, Swiss win, intervening Czech podiums, Morocco, Monaco. German figures, California. Audi McFurry wins, and few Nicholas podiums near Melbourne. Also, Claire listing and German wins near Melbourne. British Italy, BMW wins Long Beach, Washington podium. McLaren Mustang, Porsche, Ferrari, Audi, and female wins in Sydney. As well as another female podium. American Daily Ferrari, Porsche wins in UK. Jensen tops 15-20. Following signal upgrades, Metro Earth apparently faster than Solo. Going to New Haven. New Jersey Transit recognized autism acceptance month. Recommend move club and to John Colorado River Museum. Rochester, Tennessee Valley Museum celebrating LAL's 60th anniversary. Physical before 058 in its restoration. Overall thing. Let's get about the cost restructuring of UAD board. Present Beth with it stepping down. Frostburg flyer scheduled for Memorial Day. Oh. Steam distance event at Everett Railroad. Northerly summer season starts June 7th. Great Project Square Project in Torrington. New Woods Box right recently for Southern 722. Nothing at Railroad Festival planned. This is a Pro Magazine's Rising Stars in 2025. Rich Lister, Director of Content and Reporting, CBC, Seaburish, Stat Reports Industrial, Give Chrissy Waptic, Michael Cross What's Co, Trevor Gillen, TTX, Ken Leonhardt, AECOM, Cole Pennington, Sierra Northern, Emerson Sanchez, Genesee, Wyoming, SAS, Diamond, FTS Tools, Jake Weir, RG Corbin, Tamika Watson Bryant, New Orleans Public Bet. West Coast Roadway is supplying Class 7 to 4 Severn Valley Spring Diesel Fest. Creative Address, Wolf Research Group, Research Global, Transportation and Industrials Conference. Silverstream, Coriander, Hudson Council's Plantation Pines. Steamboat returns for second half of May and early June. her up. And our controls for this week go to the friends and family of Mark Thornton, animated designer, television director, co-creator, GarageBand, looped card directing, total drama sidekick, Jim Smith, starred by characters and artists, work on Ren Stimpy, Tiny Toons, Samurai Jack, Looney Tunes, and more. Great Canon, Breast Extraculatus, Doubtfire, President Norton, Tron, Carrier Plane, Jim Spence, World War II veteran from Canada, Avite Doiron, Canadian racing driver, Owen Gender, British motorcycle racer, Jock and Miss, Formula One, Steve Foon, Elf, and Melina Brandeo. Natalia. Youngest this week. Too many cardiac arrests. guess that's a good way to go in terms of my backlog for some stuff now that couldn't access over this past weekend. A few of the other things, and
Yeah.
hopefully I won't be as occupied. For the next coming weekend when the girls show up again. So I got something that needs to be taken care of after the main event.
Okay.
We'll have a season to color. And to which stay safe, so I'll get back to listed.